Hi Journal Mag, this is Richard Mannah. We're in Punta Cana and we're about to conduct an interview with some of the most influential hairdressers from America and Canada. You're going to be in for a treat. Enjoy. Okay, we're here in Punta Cana with these amazing peeps. I want to let them introduce themselves, then we're going to go through and speak about social media and how it's impacted their lives. Let's start with the one, the only, Miss Larissa Love.
Well, thank you for the introduction. My name is Larissa Love, and I am a Cosmoprof Artistic Team member, and my Instagram is @LarissaDoll.
I'm Christina Kreidel. I am also part of the artistic team, and my tag is @Christina Kreidel. Yeah.
Hello everyone, I am Olivia at OMG Artistry, and I am an artistic team member for the Cosmoprof as well, and social media has changed my life every single day and the people that I work with.
What's up? My name is Mark Bustos. I'm from New York City. I'm a hairstylist, a humanitarian, and I founded a charity called Be Awesome to Somebody.
Fantastic. Okay, so Larissa, I want to ask you the first question.
Okay.
What size is your hat? I'm kidding. I want to ask you a question because you are an educator.
Yes.
You own and run an amazing salon downtown in LA, correct? How has social media impacted and affected you personally and professionally?
I mean, social media has completely transformed and changed my life. Without it, I would not be where I am. Because of social media, I get to literally show the world my work, and I would say almost 100% of my clientele is from social media. And because of social media, I can be here now because of Punta Cana, and that's how I got discovered basically, is because someone found me through social media, and then one person led to another, and now I'm here. So literally it completely impacted and completely changed my life. So I owe it all to Instagram. That's the main social media.
So you've seen growth in your business purely because of social media.
100%.
Wow.
And I think I can say that for everyone here as well.
Wow. For those that don't think it's so important to invest in social media, because there's a lot of people that are still old school, but you've just said 100% of your clientele are from social media.
Yes.
What would you say to those guys?
I would say I would take it by the horns and really use it and utilize it. Really make it a big priority because it is a new movement, and you have to go in with get out with the old, get in with the new. And social media can really impact your life, and it can completely transform you in so many ways that you have no knowledge of until you really start using it.
Perfect. Fantastic. Christina,
Hello.
your hair looks fresh.
Thanks. It's going flat.
You're like, I washed
Humidity is
it.
killing me. I did wash it though.
Christina, now you do all sorts of different education.
Yes.
Maybe just elaborate on that a little bit before I ask you the question.
So for the artistic team, I actually don't teach hair. Oh, I'm looking at you.
Are you doing at both?
Yeah, look at both.
Yeah.
I actually don't teach hair. I teach business and branding. Both Olivia and I actually do. That's what we specialize with the team. Especially this year, we've noticed an increase in need to actually know how to handle yourself, how to communicate, how to put yourself out and project yourself on social media into the world. You know, it's getting to the point where just being a talented hairdresser, it's not enough. That's like 30% of the job. The rest of the time you need to know how to market yourself. You need to know how to show your work in its best light, how to take good pictures. Like, you can't just be a hairdresser. You gotta be a hairdresser and a photographer and a marketer and a businesswoman or man. And so that's what we teach, and it's pretty cool.
I'd love for you to share on those 3 tips on how you maximize on social media with marketing and with the things you just mentioned. Just touch on, like, maybe a 30-second on each one.
So for marketing, social media is super key because these days you don't have to buy an ad. You don't have to buy an ad. You don't have to buy a commercial. You don't have to do anything. You can literally take a picture, post it, and bam, new clientele.
You might have to buy some followers though.
No.
Kidding.
Never.
not do that.
Do not buy
Do
followers.
not. And tell them why not to buy followers, because you'll notice. Go.
So for me, one, it's almost more of a pride thing, but buying followers, it's false advertising. It's false advertising, and these days, the number, what?
You can see if
It's so
Oh,
obvious.
you can
if
tell.
you got 20,000 followers and you got 3 likes,
Yeah.
you
Yep.
gotta ask yourself,
We know.
is it real?
We know. Actually, typically, you can usually tell just by looking.
Yeah.
whether or not a following is fake by the percentage of people liking or commenting. And believe it or not, you only need 1%. 1% of your total following, if they are not liking and commenting on every single photo, then most likely majority of those accounts are fake.
Right.
And so it's false advertising. And especially these days, companies, they don't care how many followers you have. They care about the engagement.
Yes.
They care, and not even just likes, they care about the comments. They care about the loyalty of your following, whether or not, if you post something, if that creates a movement and it creates a need and a desire for what you're doing, that is more valuable to companies than congratulations, you have 1 million followers. You know? So I usually tell people popularity is like a padded bra. You may look well endowed, but it doesn't change reality.
That's good.
Right?
That's good.
So that's with marketing. Photography wise, you don't have to be a professional photographer. Being an amateur photographer is good. Getting a good quality SLR camera. An iPhone will do well enough, but these days, like, the standard is getting, it's raising. People are raising the bar. So if you want to keep up, you got to show up, you got to save, you got to invest. What was the last one?
I think it was business.
With business.
Yeah.
So
How
you
do you
can
use social media for your business?
for my business, for my
In terms
salon.
of class, you do your business classes. Is that what you're referring to?
Well, so I do that usually at the shows for Cosmoprof. I will have the class at my salon quite a bit. We actually do several classes with different artists at my salon every month. But for business-wise, it's a great way to advertise for what you have going on. If you have some kind of a sale or promotion or things like that, don't overdo it because nobody likes to be sold.
Yeah.
But it's a great way to keep people aware of what is happening and to let them know if it is something that they would like to participate in. Here it is. It's readily available. It's so much easier to get it out to the masses.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Olivia,
Hello.
how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
Very well. Now, you've got a nice amount of followers.
Yes.
And you mentioned to me someone posted one image of yours or one video and you got 18,000 followers.
Yes, I did get 18,000 followers. I came to the realization that as soon as I started really putting my content of video out there, I took on a totally different audience. I got to showcase more of myself. I was used to being behind the camera for the longest time, and it's just about practicing and becoming more and more comfortable in front of the camera. And I have noticed that everyone, that I surround myself with, we all do hair, right? But what makes us different? We are our own personal brand as a whole. What can we showcase? How can we help others? And especially nowadays with tutorials, photography, and even becoming a hair blogger, so to say. And you have to really showcase who you are as a person in order to start growing your following. White wall ring light is not cutting it anymore.
What is?
Being you.
Just
Being you. The old saying is 50% of the reason why they come to you is because of you, but we've been showing everybody else for the longest time on our socials. I think when we show a picture and then we paint a picture in our captions and we really get to let the audience know who we are as a person, what we represent, then they start creating this loyalty, this undying loyalty to that person as a whole. And I use my Instagram stories also to showcase who I am as a person and what my purpose is for social media.
I love that. So it's not just showcasing what you do, it's showcasing who you are.
Yes.
Because people love you for who you are and what you do.
Yes.
So tell me about this video you put together that I believe Huda Beauty posted.
Huda Beauty, yes. So I did a tutorial. It was called Quick Curls. Basically what you do is you put a ponytail right here, you curl your hair this way, and you curl your hair that way. I think it was like a 35-second video. But that was pretty cool that it was only 35 seconds because it's replication. People kept watching it over and over and over. It wasn't a very long, strung out minute video. So I think these fast ones, they go much easier than a really long one where it's like, okay, I get it. But from that alone, with those 18,000 followers is when I started working with brands as a whole, and they started to notice me, and I really started to get my following just because I sat in my bathtub and I filmed this video in the natural light on my iPhone.
It really was in her bathtub.
How many views did it get?
Oh, I would say it probably had over like 20 million.
20 million.
20 million views. Yeah,
From
I
your
have.
bathtub.
It's funny. Yes, from my bathtub. And I've actually had. I was in an airport, and somebody looks at me and she's like, "Those eyes," and I was like, and we ended up finding out it was from that Huda Beauty, and this was like over 2 years ago that this happened, and she recognized me, and we were all the way like in, I think. we were in the Hamptons and we were getting on a flight to go to New York from JFK, and she's like, I know those eyes.
You know when I first saw you, I said to myself, I know those eyes. They're the bathtub eyes.
You're making me blush now.
Let's go over to the Mac Daddy himself, Mark Bustos.
Ow!
Woohoo! Mark, you know, you do a lot, obviously, for the unfortunate, and you travel and you invest in making a difference. For me, I think it's the opposite. You haven't used that as a platform to attract it. You've actually used what you do and used the platform to encourage others. So just maybe give us your purpose behind social media, because some people have a business to promote, some people have themselves to promote, some people have their charity to showcase and inspire. I'd love to know a little bit about your motive behind some of your posts.
Yeah, so that's exactly it. I mean, I use social media a little bit differently than most do. You know, most of my, I don't use social media to gain following. I'd say maybe less than 1% of my following are clients. You know, I've gained clientele before my social media page blew up on its own. You know, I was already fully booked, and you know, at a higher price point in New York City, I'm not going to get a lot of people that can really necessarily afford what I charge for a haircut. But with that being said, the motto that I live by is I'm either expensive or I'm free, but never cheap. So I find myself giving more cheap services than I do, more free services than I do expensive services. You know?
I'm one of those free services, just as an
Not
FYI.
for too much longer.
Oh man, are you kidding me?
But yeah, I mean, the way social media has been able to help me is for me to be able to help others through social media. And you know, I think the most important thing with Instagram especially is just technology and storytelling. The combination of technology and storytelling is so much more powerful than any of us may think.
How do you keep it interesting? How do you keep it relevant? Because sometimes you run out of things to do. So I've seen some pages, they're just the same thing but in different ways. It's just the same. And for me, it's like, I don't even bother opening an image. I just look at the scroll and think, I'm done. How do you keep your overall single images interesting and then the overall scroll image interesting? Because there's an art to it. There is an art.
Yeah, so I travel a lot. I'm on a plane almost every weekend. I'm in different developing countries, in dump sites, in cemeteries, but I'm also in high-end hair salons in Beverly Hills, in Miami, and New York. And I think the cool thing is that I'm able to tell individual stories. So when I give haircuts to people, especially out on the streets, I tell their story. So it's almost like a very, very intimate version of the humans of New York. You know, I'm actually in there touching and interacting and just really listening to their stories that way. Almost as if I'm talking to just a paying client, because all of our clients talk to us, no matter whether you're homeless or you're a billionaire, people are going to talk to you. And people treat us like their therapists. So it's pretty cool to be able to share everyone's stories through social media.
We're therapists.
Therapists. I
Therapy.
like that. Hashtag therapists.
Thank you, Journal Mag, for having us.
You guys are the best.
I can't wait to see this video.
I am the biggest fan of Journal Mag, and I'm so excited to be part of this.
We love you guys. Mwah.